There's a good reason why EHEDG Connects webinars are so popular within this community, because in them, hygienic design top-level experts share their practical insights, and as an attendee, you also get the opportunity to pose questions to them. I'm happy to announce the next presenter of the upcoming EHEDG Connects webinar about the topic of the Codex Alimentarius. His name is Marco León Félix. He's an EHEDG authorized trainer and also the chairman of the EHEDG regional section in Mexico. Marco, this topic, why is it so important and how are you going to approach it in your webinar?
Yes, of course. As a matter of fact, I have to share with you, Rob, that we have shared these experiences in another webinars. And since the general principles of Codex were published in 2020, there was a lot of interest in the document because finally you can find the link between the private schemes or private certification bodies and legislation.
Okay. Now, without giving away too much of the contents of your presentation, because people will just have to register for that. It's free, by the way. Marco, can you just give us a few pointers to a few parts of the Codex where this connection between legislation and hygienic design and food safety culture is actually made?
You can find food safety culture. You can find validation as a limit for critical control points, and you can find also validation but hazard plans, and that's very important. Because this was not written in the previous publication of Codex. And you know, in all these, let's say, kind of many stories about food recalls, people getting sick, people dying also because of lack of food safety. The question was, how can it be possible if we have already the hazard plans from FDA, from Europe, from Codex, and the key issue is linked to the food safety culture, and that's the point. I want to remark that. Finally, Codex incorporated in the general principles of food safety culture and how to develop that. And maybe you are thinking, well, that's food safety culture. We're talking about hygienic design. Oh, hygienic design is the foundation of a food safety culture.
In this webinar, people can also pose questions. So I'm just curious, what kind of questions do you expect to get, or what kind of questions do you get from your clients in the food industry as a consultant about this topic?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I can tell you, I can share you that even though that the companies are already certificated in some scheme, when we present and we say, oh, you have to be very careful because your scheme says that is based on Codex. So you have to know what Codex asks, even though the schemes it's another publication. But this is also very important because, as you probably know, Codex is the international referee when some conflicts are between countries. So it's very important. And furthermore, most of the national regulations in the world, for instance, Mexico and many countries in Europe and Latin America, are based on Codex. So for many reasons, you have to know what the paper says. So yes, we would like to share our experience in avoid confusions between, well, my private scheme said this, I do not, I don't worry about Codex. No, you have to be worried because the basis is Codex, and you have to be very careful about the interpretation.
there have been quite a large number of food scandals around the world in the last decade. Is this new Codex Alimentarius signaling that governments are taking more control, that they want to do something to prevent these scandals to happen in the future?
Yes, I agree. The government say you have to raise the bar in your food safety system, and that's very good. I celebrate that.
Marco, you have surely made us very curious about your webinar, so I would like you to invite anyone here watching to register now, to join for free, and to attend your webinar, Marco. Can you do that for me?
I think so. Okay, guys, it will be a pleasure to share with you my experiences, but most of all, your questions. I need your feedback in order to make more clear the concepts and how can help you to raise the bar and to have a solid food safety, not only system, but food safety culture in your companies. That's the goal. So please join us.
Gracias, Marco. Dear viewer, before you leave, EHEDG has made a slight alteration of its offerings regarding these webinars. The recordings will be bundled and accessible at the EHEDG website, free for all EHEDG company members. So if you're not an EHEDG company member, make sure you become one, or make sure that you are present at the actual live webinar. Registration link up there, down there. See you at the webinar. Thank you very much.